Habari Gani tribe. Happy Thursday. Right? I really had to think about it because I feel like I have not been online forever. It's literally been months at this point. So I feel like we have a lot of things to catch up on. But honestly, I just jumped on tonight. I wanted to chat with you guys about the up and coming Kenya 2025 tour. Um, I'm going to give you guys some time to enter the room. I know some people said they missed the Zoom, so let me go ahead and share it into some groups. So give me a moment. Um, in the meantime, if you are tuning in, feel free to write, tell me where you are tuning in from because I am super duper curious. If you're wondering what's on the side of me, it's my phone. It's not a person. I know people jump straight to who's over there. But for those of you guys that are tuning in for the very first time, before I get started, Habari Gani. My name is Angie Digante. I am the owner of Accent Styles Boutique. I see we have some people tuning in from Washington, D.C. And tonight, right, we are talking about all things East Africa, all things Kenya. It has literally been forever. So do me a favor, guys. If you are tuning in, listen, go ahead, click the share. While you're doing that, definitely hit up the comments. I'm super duper curious. Where are you guys tuning in from? Right? I think everyone's typically used to the wind down Wednesdays, but I promise you guys, it is going to be fun. Okay, so let's get into it, right? Um, let's just jump right into it. So everyone has been super curious about the Kenya 2025 tour. And so I want to give you guys all of the details. I want to make sure that you guys are able to make a wise and informed decision. I want you guys to know the cost and about the adventures and all things East African. And so 2025 is a 9-day tour. And you guys are probably curious, why should I go with you, Angie? There's so many tours that I see online. There's so many people that I see taking people to East Africa, West Africa, South Africa. Why should I put all of my coins together and go on a tour with you? And I feel like that's a wonderful question. And so let's begin with I am the owner of Accent Styles Boutique, which is an East African boutique. I have literally had my brick and mortar for over 7 years. And so not only do I just bring East African fashion over, but I also employ East Africans abroad. And I also sponsor kids at the orphanage. We also have a library there. We have an English center. And so we are really involved in the community and making it better. And so I went to Kenya, right? I went to Kenya. It was supposed to be, right? I'm getting comfortable. It was supposed to be a 3-week vacation, 2-week vacation. It turned into 3 years. I decided I did not want to leave. I wanted to stay there. I wanted to learn more about it. And in turn, I want to show all of you guys East Africa as well. And so one of the perks of coming with me is I am fluent in Swahili. I feel like Swahili is my first language, even though it's my third. I genuinely feel like Swahili is my first language. I'm extremely, extremely comfortable with Swahili. And so you guys will have a hands-on tour guide. You won't have to worry about what is someone saying, how do I translate it to them. You guys have a full-on translator. Another thing is that we have cultural competency courses during the Kenya 2025 preparation. And so that means that we teach you about the things that you should and shouldn't do in Kenya. One of them being, does anyone know, right? Before I go rambling, does anyone know one thing that you should not do in East Africa? I'm gonna give you guys some time, right? I'm gonna skip over that one and head to something else. We have monthly Zooms, monthly newsletters, so you guys will always be informed on how the process is going, some of the excursions, what to expect. I have literally toured over 200 people all over East Africa for over 10 years. And so while you're with me, you get the best of luxury and local experience. And so we don't have one of those tours where it's all stush, it's super fancy. No, it's definitely a local and luxury adventure. We dive into like the culture with the people. We go out to local restaurants. We empower the community. We shop at local markets. We fish at local rivers. Like all the things that we do are very much local, but with a high end experience. And so I know that you guys are curious, like, what are the dates? Actually, I see someone in the comments, right? Someone in the comments when I asked, does anyone know about something you shouldn't do in East Africa? They commented and said, using that right hand while eating. And that is absolutely correct. You should use your right hand when you're eating. Eating with your left hand is absolutely taboo. It is disgusting in East African culture. If you eat with your left hand, they literally gather all of the food and throw it away. And so let's talk about these dates. The dates for Kenya 2025 is the 6th through the 14th, and that is of 2025, right? So let's dive into the deeper details of the Kenya 2025 tour. And so it is a 9-day adventure. We do a 333, a 333 meaning that we spend our time at 3 different locations for 3 nights. And so the first is 3 nights of local luxury, right? So while you are in those local accommodations, they will be quite cozy, they will be very beautiful, but they will have a private chef. There will be house support. In other words, we call them maids. There'll be maids to make your bed, to iron your clothes, to help you during your daily preparation. The second 3 will be beach bumming, right? We will lay out on the beach. We'll be in Mombasa. There will be camelback riding. We'll move at a slower pace because I feel like in East Africa, they're like TIA. This is Africa, meaning that we take our time, we enjoy the food, we take in the culture, we take in all of the local experience. And the last 3 are high-end luxury, meaning that we will stay at a high-end hotel. There'll be rooftop bars, rooftop restaurants, a full-on 360-degree view of the entire city from your bedroom, and while you are upstairs doing fine dining. Another reason that you should participate in the Kenya 2025 tour is the fact that we have local food daily, right? So I know people go to a lot of places all over the world and immediately they look for things that look very familiar to them. They look for a McDonald's, they look for the famous KFCs, they look for all of these things. But when you are partaking, right, in the full on Kenyan experience with Angie, you will dine locally every single day. So that means that you won't miss out on any of the traditional dishes. You won't miss out on, hello, Tanisha. I see that you are tuning in from Lakeland, Florida. You won't miss out on any of those things. You know, when you visit a place and they're like, well, did you try the corn? Or did you try the ugali? Or did you try the nyama choma? And you can say yes to all of those things because you will be diving into them every single day. Another reason is the local interaction. I promise you, when you go on this tour with Angie, like every person you meet originally will be a friend, but they will literally leave being family. And so there's also 24-hour security. So when you're on this tour, right, you're able to have full on security. You can let your hair down, you can feel comfortable. You know, when you go to places and you initially want to, like, you feel uneasy, you're like, I need to hide my purse, I need to lock my door at night. Of course, you're still going to do all of those things naturally, but you'll be extremely comfortable to the point to where you will be able to feel like there's security and I can breathe. Hello, Apostle Michelle Kelly. Thanks for tuning in. I am currently sharing with people why they should come with me to Kenya. It's very, very beautiful. And so, hello, Shar. How are you? I see Charlotte's tuning in. I see Juanette. I have my phone to the side of me. And so, let's dive into these excursions, right? Because I feel like you guys are curious. What am I going to do on this tour? What type of adventures will I be diving into? And so, one of the many adventures is the boat ride in Lake Naivasha. So this is not your typical boat ride. It's not going to be a yacht. It's not going to be, hello, Kayla. It's not going to be the glass bottom boat ride that we have later on in this experience, but this is a boat ride in Lake Naivasha. And so when you're on this boat, you'll literally be passing by the hippopotamus in the water. You'll see the zebras from afar. You'll see the dik-diks and the antelopes and all of the wildlife while you're literally sitting in this boat. This boat happens to be called Sophie. Each and every boat has a different name. And so you will be able to get your boat with its special name and ride and do this ocean tour. Actually, it's a lake, right? I'm so Floridian. I'm like, everything's an ocean. No, this is definitely a lake. It is Lake Naivasha. And so, one of the highlights, once you get off this boat, right? Once you boat over to the other side, you are greeted with wildlife. You're able to see the giraffes, you're able to see the zebras, you're literally able to be in an arm's distance of them. I'm not sure if you guys can tell, but literally, right? Literally, you are an arm's reach away from the giraffe. You are an arm's reach away from the zebras. I see someone said, "This is so beautiful." You are literally in, it feels like you are living the Lion King. That's what it feels like to me. Like, I feel like after being surrounded by all of these animals, that I should just grab like a lion cub and hold it up, and all of the wildlife should like sing a song and do a dance. That's how I feel, right? And so I see Apostle Michelle Kelly saying there's nothing like it. This is the trip you want to take before you leave this earth. Definitely. There is something so beautiful about returning home. And so everything about you will say, like, wow, this place is beautiful. I think most importantly is that it defies the stereotypes, right? It defies everything that we've ever learned about in textbooks. Like Kenya, Africa as a whole is not a poor place. Hello, Lena. Lena actually went to East Africa with me last year. She went with me to Kenya and to Zanzibar and to Tanzania. And this year she's going with me to South Africa. And so once you tour with me, listen, you are hooked. Each and every tour, every time you're ready to take a vacation, you will thank Angie, right? So this is one of the highlights. So you ride the boat over to this beautiful island. You literally enter this island with all of the wildlife, and you are able to see the exact places where the Lion King was created. You're able to see where Out of Africa was created. And again, there is nothing like it. One of the other important parts about the tour is I know that we love all things adventurous. We love all things high fashion. We love all things that scream culture. But one of the beautiful things about this is that we literally meet the heart and soul. Hello, Brother Nassif. Hello, Laniqua Dominique. We're literally able to see the heart and soul of Accent Styles Boutique, the very thing that made me stay in East Africa. And that's the orphanage, right? We get to visit my orphanage. We get a day where we're able to give back. You're able to bring toys and trinkets. You guys are able to see why my orphanage, right? Let me show you my face for this part. You're able to see why my orphanage is literally the best orphanage on the planet. And one of those reasons are we are self-sustainable. And that means that we grow our own food. We're able to make our own clothes. We literally catch our own rainwater and water supply to either water the garden or to wash our clothes. There is literally, I always tell people outside of donations for education, there is nothing that I feel like my orphanage is like lacking. I feel like I have helped create and mold and shift such innovative children. They're able to think outside of the box. They're so creative. There's literally nothing I feel like they can't do. I feel like they can do everything. I know they can do everything. You're able to hear their stories. You're able to learn about their backgrounds. We literally have a student, right? We have a student, she graduated and she is entering pilot school. Listen, when I tell you the girl is bad to the bone, she is bad to the bone. Can you imagine, right? Can you imagine meeting someone that literally, someone found the means to give away? They're like, I don't have the capacity to do this, or I don't find value in this person, and they give it away, right? just for it to grow up and be so awesome and so phenomenal and literally be all of the odds. And so these are the children that we have at the orphanage. And so when you come and visit, you get to meet all of these beautiful faces. There is a rule, right? Visiting the orphanage does come with its rules, and one of them being you aren't allowed to bring your camera, you aren't allowed to bring your phone. You aren't allowed to bring any recording devices. Literally, when you come to the orphanage to do good, you just do good, right? So that's one of my favorite things. When you come to the orphanage to do good, you do just that. You just do good. You don't have a picture to remember the do good. You don't have an image or a video. You don't have any of the things to record that I did good. You only get to walk away with the beautiful feeling that you did good. Hello, Monica. Thanks for tuning in. I miss you so much wherever you are in the world. Take lots of pictures and enjoy it for me. I See Lovelace is the link to sign up on your Facebook page. There's tons of pages where you can find the links. It's on Instagram, it's on Eventbrite, but we are slowly but surely making our way to where you can locate the link, right? So I don't know if I have any Floridians tuning in, but we have a place called Busch Gardens, and Busch Gardens has a ride called the Congo River Rapids, right? So in the image that I just showed you guys, this is the Congo River. You are literally riding down the Congo River. And I know for a lot of people, they consider this to be like an imaginary place, something they've never heard of, or something they've only heard of at the tourist attraction, Busch Gardens. But it's a real place. It's a real place. It's a beautiful place. And when you come on the tour with me, you are able to coast down the Congo River. I see Laniqua Dominique Jenkins says, I love the boundaries you set to ensure the act of doing good just to do good, right? When you do good, it is strictly that. You're just doing good to do good. Hello, Margie. I see Margie say she is tuning in from Tampa, Florida. Listen, you guys don't even understand me clicking on these comments and me reading the comments and me seeing the viewers in my top left corner. I'm like, I miss this. I miss this so much. And it's just a reminder that I should do more of this. I miss it. So moving on right along to some more of the excursions that will take place. Riding the camels in Mombasa. Kike, right? Listen, this photo does not do it justice. It doesn't do it justice. Literally, when you ride these camels, I cannot say it enough. The sand and the sky kiss each other. Listen, I have never seen something so beautiful in my entire life. It is one of the most beautiful sights. I don't think it's something that you can capture in video. It's not something that you can catch in photo. Listen, you're riding down the ocean, right? That's a beach. Yep, so it's an ocean. So you're riding on the back of a camel on white sand next to the ocean. And then you literally see Maasai people. Hi, Talina. So literally you see the most traditional East Africans in all of East Africa, right? As you are riding the backs of these camels in Mombasa along the coast, where you can get fresh coconuts to drink, where you can get fresh pineapples to eat, where you can get all of the best seafood in the entire world. No, I take it back. The best seafood is definitely in Zanzibar. You have not had lobster until you've had it in Zanzibar. I'm not talking about the Mr. and Mrs. stuff. I am talking about the real deal lobster. You have not had lobster until you had it in Zanzibar. But everything else you can definitely have while you're there. Lena said the camel ride is spectacular. One of the other beautiful things that you can do in East Africa while with me is street food, right? People love the street food. It is absolutely amazing, right? So you literally get to walk down the street about 3 or 4 blocks. Each and every block is like surrounded by different street vendors. You're able to buy fresh coconut. You're able to buy the cassava crisps that you see in this photo, they squeeze lime, they squeeze lemon. They literally jazz it up in the most phenomenal way. I've never had crisps, that's what we call them. Hello, Sister LaShawn. I typically call them potato chips, but they're also called crisp. But I'm like, I have not had crisp like that. The way they make them, oh, so delicious, right? Um, and then they have, let me remove this for a moment so you guys can see my face. They literally have this other dish that I really love, and it's a sweet potato, and they put chili and they put lime, and so it's like sweet meets savory meets spicy, and it tastes like hot honey. I can't explain it, but it is so delicious, and it has like this most distinct kick where you're just like the lime sets it off every single time. And so one of the other mini excursions that you guys can do is feeding the giraffes. And I know some of you guys might say like, oh, I could feed giraffes at Laurie Park Zoo, or I could feed giraffes at Busch Gardens, or I could feed giraffes anywhere, but it's not the same, I assure you. To see a giraffe in its natural habitat, to see it at a reservation, to see it get this close, it's gorgeous, it's phenomenal. And so it makes you kind of think the giraffes that you see here in the US, you realize just how small they are. They actually look quite malnourished if you take a really close look at them. You're like, oh, these giraffes are not the size as the giraffes that I see in East Africa. And so I think Lovely is making this comment in reference to the street food. She says, Lord, making me hungry. Get me to Kenya right now, right? Get me to Kenya too. So listen, let me show you guys some more graphics. So this is the view of Dinner in the Cave, right? Dinner in the Cave is where we dine in Diani. And it's not just a title, it is an actual place. You are literally diving inside of a cave. The cave is located on the beach, and literally in every single crease and every single crevice, as you can see in the image, there's candle lights. It's one of those things that kind of seal the deal for East Africa. It's kind of the icing on the cake, and you're like, wow. You're like, I haven't seen anything like this, where they literally take something that you would imagine to only be in a fairy tale or in a book, and they literally make it reality. You're like, first of all, I've never been inside of a cave. Now you tell me that I can go inside of the cave. Now you tell me I can have dinner inside of the cave. Then you tell me it's going to be one of the most beautiful experiences. And then you tell me that it's a Michelin star, meaning they have the best chefs in the whole entire world, and it literally takes over a year to get reservations there. You mean to tell me that I'm going to be dining there with candlelight, with the Maasai tribes guarding the mouth of the cave and the exit of the cave? And this photo was literally taken from the top of the cave. So we had someone stand at the very top and lean over. And so the image that you see is actually Kenya 2022, and they are dining below. And I don't know if you can tell, but you can see me. I have on a blue skirt. I'm standing next to like the head of the table, and there's one of the servers there as well. But the place is gorgeous. The entire cave is white. As you see, the tablecloths is white. It's always a sign of like elite, high class. I love it. Someone wants to know, what do the giraffes eat? OMG, the food. Yes. Okay. So the giraffes eat pellets. I see when someone's curious about what do the giraffes eat. The giraffes dine on like these little small pellets that are literally created by the reservation. When we go to other reservations like David Sheldrick, the elephant orphanage, we aren't able to feed them because so many people feed them until they snooze, or until they are, what is the word? I guess like some type of anesthesia where they fall asleep and then they cut off their tusk. So the giraffes are actually the only animal that you're able to feed. I see someone asking about them. Hello, Sierra. Brother Nassif said, this looks amazing. So I couldn't agree more. I agree. The tour looks absolutely amazing. So I'm like, I know you guys are curious, like how many days, when does it end? How do I sign up? I see someone is commenting, feeding the giraffes in Kenya is top tier experience, especially when compared to what you think is similar experience anywhere in the US. I couldn't agree. And let me go to said, you mean to tell me you ain't shared the link yet? I need this soft life dining experience. Hello, TT. Um, so listen, we definitely shared, right? In case you guys are jumping on, in the middle of this, we shared a lot of images of the excursions that take place in Kenya. We talked about the boat ride that leads to the island where you are able to literally walk with the zebras. You're able to walk with the giraffes. You're literally able to walk with the gazelles. We talked about the mission and the sole purpose to me of visiting and giving your time back to the orphanage. We talked about riding down the Congo River, a place that Busch Gardens has made seem like a fairy tale, but is actually a real place. We talked about the camelback ride experience. We talked about the street food and feeding the giraffes and dining in the cave. But here's the kicker, that's not all that you do. Those are simply the highlights to me. That is not every single thing that takes place on this tour, because you have to keep in mind we have the private chefs. We're eating the local food every single day that is like cooked and created to our needs. We have the local interactions where we're able to meet and greet and interact not only with like the local Maasais, but our neighboring people. We have 24-hour security, and we dive into the 333, where we literally stay in 3 different housing accommodations, and we visit over 15 cities. And so, listen, I know you guys are probably like, how do I plug in? What do I do? How do I become a part of this? And so, this is like your invitation, right? Listen. I always feel like on this part, like this pastoral voice takes over me. So if I ever become a pastor, I wouldn't surprise myself, because I've been preparing myself. It sounds like I'm offering you salvation, but I'm really offering you a tour experience. So I'm like, if you would like to commit, right? If you would like to secure your spot today for Kenya 2025, I would highly encourage you guys. This is like my 3rd or 4th Zoom this month. This one I happen to go live on Facebook and on Instagram and a few other, live streams. But listen, this one is on Facebook. I want to offer it to you guys because there's literally only 4 spaces left. I know that you guys are probably like, how do I sign up, Angie? You're yakking. How do you sign up? And so you literally, right, for a single room, it is $4,700. For a shared room, it is $4,200. There are payment installments available. And so in order for you to become a part of the tour, you have to put down your deposit of $400, right? So what the $400 states is, hey, I'm interested. I would like, not to say I'm telling Apostle Michelle Kelly that you are ready to preach. I'm not playing with you. Listen, so you can literally, right? So there's payment installments available once you put down your deposit of $400, right? So after that, you have 10-month installments. It all depends on which room you select. It could literally be as nominal as $300 or $400 a month. You can break that up into like $125 a week. It is literally up to you. And so if you are interested in joining, I have the information on the screen. You can email, right? The email address below where it says Accent Styles Boutique, or Angie Digante at Accent Styles Boutique. You can text the phone number on the screen, the 813-616-5334, or you can literally comment on this live right now. You can say, hey, I want to get an invoice. I would love to be a part of the tour, because there is literally only a few spaces left. I'm not one of those salespeople where I'm like, there's only 2 spaces left and there's 50. It is a small tour, as you guys have seen in photos. I like to keep it private. I like to keep it personal. I like to keep it very intimate. And so we only have, I believe it's 3, but I'll say 4 just to be safe. There's only 4 rooms available. And I promise you, yesterday I did this same exact thing. I went live. I did it on a private Zoom. And before the end of the night, majority of the rooms were gone. And so if you want to secure your spot, I see Apostle Michelle Kelly saying, yes, I agree, Pastor Angelica. So if you want to secure your spot, those are all of the ways that you can secure them. I highly, highly encourage you, right? Send your deposit, make space for yourself. Say, hey, Angie, I need the installments. I need the payment plan. Or, right, boss all the way up, just say, hey, send me my invoice. I want to put all the money down right now. And then you can definitely do that. I see Monica said, what month is the trip? The trip is in August. It's August of 2025. And the dates are August 6th through the 14th. And so let me make sure those are the correct dates, right? Because I know you guys will say, Angie, you were wrong. So yes, August 6th through the 14th of 2025. There's literally all of the details. I can put them in the link below. I pretty much verbally explain a lot of the things that you will see on Eventbrite. The only thing is that if you decide to sign up on Eventbrite, you may incur additional charges, additional rates. I know that they have like their processing fee. I don't know exactly what they're processing, but there is a hefty processing fee. I see Apostle Michelle Kelly said, Kenya 2025, you don't want to miss. And I couldn't agree more. Listen, when I first started doing these tours, right, I've been doing these tours for about 11 years or so now. I would probably say I've been doing them with Accent Styles Boutique maybe for about 7 years, 6 or 7 years. And so Laniqua Dominique said, I ain't ready to boss up yet, but I can make it rain monthly. Yes, definitely. There's no shame in the monthly installments. But listen, I'm saying that I personally, I feel like I underestimated the experience that I was offering to people and the opportunities that I was creating, because people would come on these tours and I would expect them to leave with just photos, but they left with so much more. They left feeling full. They left feeling empowered. They left with a feeling of like reconnecting back to home, to the motherland. They left with business connections. Some people purchased homes because we do have a day of investments where you're able to visit local properties. All of those properties are under 60,000. So it isn't anything crazy where we're showing you homes for 5, 6, 700,000. All the properties that are viewed that day, if you choose to view them, are under 60K. But people left as homeowners. People left, international business owners. And so it is so much more than just the giraffes. It is so much more than just the camelback riding. It is so much more than the Michelin star restaurant in the cave. Even though those things are beautiful, right? Even though those things are unforgettable, even though those things are things where you have that memory for a lifetime, it's so much bigger than that. The way that people leave when they feel this place, they feel empowered. They have a new outlook on life. They visit the orphanage. They have a new sense of gratitude. They have a new sense of zeal. Some people bring their kids. Their kids leave with a different level of empowerment and a different level of value for the world and a different level of appreciation for America. And so they learn to not take things for granted, right? That make every single day count. And so I think that's one of the many things that happened the first time that I visited East Africa. Like my sister gave me the nudge. She paid for the experience. She wanted me to go to East Africa. And what I thought was 3 weeks vacation turned into multiple years and turned into a business. It turned me into a change agent. And so listen, I would say, right, this is your altar call. I would say definitely, right? Hit me up, text me, email me, comment on here, and let me know that you are definitely interested in joining Kenya 2025 so you guys can make it happen. But I'm not going to hold you guys. I have so many things to do. And so thank you guys for tuning in. I cannot say thank you enough. I feel like I could talk all day to myself on a screen, but it is so much easier. When I see the numbers and the comments and the views, it makes it so much easier. And so thank you guys for tuning in. I would definitely love for you guys to join me. And so peace, love, lots of African culture. And I'm hoping to see you guys on the other side of the globe. I see Brother Nassif saying Kenya 2025. I see my loving apostle saying, go ahead, Pastor Angelica. I cannot. You guys are so funny tonight. But I love you guys so much. I cannot wait to see you guys on the other side of the globe. And I will see you guys soon. Kenya is one of the most vibrant cultures in Africa. And here at Accent Styles Boutique, we bring that vibrant culture to you. From apparel to accessories, we provide handcrafted products straight from Kenya designed by local tribes. Our styles are for everyone. And when you purchase with us, you can feel good knowing that a portion of your purchase helped transform the lives of orphans in Kenya. So come experience Kenya through Accent Styles Boutique, where we bring the culture of Kenya to you.